Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sort of, still morning. Welcome in for our spiritual message of the day, and then I will pull some cards for our weekly guidance on what we can expect for this week. It has been crazy. I'm just working really hard to grow my page and especially my Instagram page. So I followed way too many people on my Instagram and now it's not letting me follow people for a second. So hopefully it'll let me follow people later because people are still following me. So, and I want to follow back and I want to keep liking and like sharing people's stuff. So anyways, we did not do March 2nd's Cultivating Hope message. I think the book was upstairs. So last night we did the spiritual and psychic development workbook. And then there was a meditation that I kind of went through and talked about and how I would feel and stuff. And then I was like, I'm going to do a meditation for you guys. I did record that meditation this morning, but I can't post it until Troy gets home. He had to go to Salt Lake today for a appointment at the VA. So when he gets home, he can help me fix my iPad. My iPad, it needs like his password for Apple for me to upgrade the YouTube so that I can post the YouTube meditation. So I'm waiting on him for that, but it should be up later today so that you can do that exercise at some point. Otherwise, here is the message for yesterday, and then we'll talk a little bit about cynicism. Cultivating hope. Cultivate hope above all else. Allow it to permeate your life and seep into your heart. There will be times when you are on top of the world and others where you find yourself in a heap of tears. Both are necessary, but without hope, nothing else is possible. What gives you hope? Who gives you hope? These become your resources, and when the world around you seems too dark to bear, they become your beacon of light and your reminder of hope. Unfortunately, without the bad, we don't recognize the good. So there's the world is balanced. So anytime you're in a low, you know you're coming back up high. And then anytime you're in a high, you know that there's also balance, that you could go back to a low. So just working in always pulling in love and light and gratitude will be helpful when you get to those lows. I did pull up like a poem on hope, and it says, "The Seed of Hope. Hope is not the fleeting star that blinks once, then fades afar, not the whisper in the night that falters when the dark feels tight. It's a seed beneath the ground, silent, waiting, yet profound, rooted in the quiet earth, a promise held of endless worth. It doesn't bloom with ease or haste, but grows in shadows touched by grace. Hope is nourished by the tears of yesterday, the quiet fears. It finds its way through cracks and stones, through fields of doubt where winds have blown. It stretches up in tender green, an answer to what's yet unseen. Hope is not just born in light, it rises strongest in the fight. When all seems lost and skies are gray, hope whispers softly, you'll find your way. It is the breath you take, still deep with life. When life feels heavy, when you weep, it's the strength to rise again, the courage found to start and mend. So cultivate it, plant it near, in quiet moments through the fear. Let it grow and let it bloom, a steady light pierces the gloom. For hope is not the end we seek, but the quiet strength to rise when weak. A spark that lives in fire untamed, a force unseen, yet never shamed. Hope is waiting, always near. Plant it now and fill it clear. The world may darken, shadows grow, but in your heart, hope always knows. So that's pretty. Now that there's a couple of you hopped on, I was talking about the spiritual message because we're doing this every morning to bring positivity into our life because we all want to be positive. Cultivate hope above all else. Allow it to permeate your life and seep into your heart. There will be times when you are on top of the world and others where you find yourself in a heap of tears. Both are necessary, but without hope, nothing else is possible. What gives you hope? Who gives you hope? These become your resource, and when the world around you seems too dark to bear, they become your beacon of light and your reminder of hope. What gives you hope? My family, my friends, my business, the spiritual signs, my connection with spirit itself. I would say my husband gives me the most hope, and then my friends now. Now I've cultivated and like manifested a lot of good girlfriends, which I've never really had before. So that gives me a lot of hope that there really are good women out there. And then that was actually the spiritual message for yesterday, because I had so many lives yesterday for the Zodiac spiritual message for the month of March that I didn't get to do the spiritual message. But then today's spiritual message is on cynicism. And I was like, that's kind of a big word for this girl. But it says, cynicism is easy. It is simply judgment and fear. Choose curiosity instead. And then I was like, well, what are examples of cynicism and how do we maybe do this? And we need to step back and not do this. So let's look at what some of the cynicism patterns are that we may be doing in our life that we need to change. So assuming the worst in people. And then it gives an example. A person offers help or kindness, and instead of appreciating it, we immediately wonder, what do they want from me, or what is their hidden agenda? Oh, those are traumas and wounds. Are those not traumas and wounds? What do you, that's because my parents, like, anytime they would help, they would hold it over your head, and then anytime anything come up, but you remember that one time I helped you, remember that one time I came and helped you? So that's a pattern we need to break, and we need to allow people to help us. I do like to tell people, I should live more by this, but like, when you block people from helping you, like say you have a surgery or you're sick and somebody offers to bring you dinner, your first reaction is always, no, I got this, it's fine, we'll be fine, I've got something or whatever. It doesn't matter if you got something. You could have that dinner that person provides, and you could have it the next night, or you could freeze it or whatnot. You have to, when somebody's asking, you're blocking their blessing when you're not allowing them to help you. So the mindset assuming that people's intentions are driven by selfishness or ulterior motives rather than by genuine goodwill. So that's cool. We can be better at that. Dismissal of positive news or change. When someone shares good news, we respond with, yeah, but it probably won't last, or things always end up going wrong eventually. This mindset shuts down joy and growth by anticipating failure or disappointment, preventing us from truly celebrating positive moments. I know that I don't do that one, but I'm sure that when you think about that, and when I said that, you'll actually think about a couple people that do that. Like, I tend to avoid people when I'm having conversations, or like I want to talk to somebody. I avoid people that I know are going to, like, they just tend to have like nothing positive to say, and it drives me crazy. Like, I'll want to message somebody and check on them and see how they're doing. I'm thinking about a specific person, see how they're doing, if they're doing amazing. But then I don't want to message that person because I know that they're just going to complain. This happened, this is horrible, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't even want to check on you. I'll just send you positive energy. So that is negativity bringing negativity. So because those people constantly focus on the negative, it just breeds negativity, and then that's all eventually that they can see. So then that's all that they can talk about. So when I talk about doing your gratitude journaling, like picking 3 things every day to say that you're grateful for. I'm grateful that the kids broke out of the room and Cutler said last night, Connor Harry Pottered us out of there. Like, that made me laugh so much. I'm grateful for the baby chickens. I'm grateful that Troy was able to go to his appointment today. Like, just thinking about the simplest things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for new followers. Like, because if you allow yourself to get in the negative loop, you can end up like those people that only talk about the negative. Okay, next one is constantly expecting failure or disappointment. When you try something new, like a hobby or goal, we immediately think this will probably fail just like the last time, or what's the point? I'll just be disappointed. This approach robs us of hope, enthusiasm, making it difficult or to fully engage or enjoy the process of trying something new. We've talked a lot about this year how we need to be more spontaneous and try new things. I think that was one of my big spiritual messages for this month, is that I needed to do new things. And I did go get, I took the rings off because I was doing dishes, but I did go and make those rings, and I was spontaneous about it. I was invited at the last minute, and I had to drive myself. Normally my friends will take me places because I get driving anxiety. If you're a perfectionist, I know it's hard to break, but try to look at projects and things that you're doing less about it has to be perfect and more about the energy and intention you're putting into the project you're doing is going to bring you and people around you blessings. So like maybe you do the rings and your setting's a little crooked and you feel like, oh man, that's horrible because now it's not perfect. But I feel amazing about the settings. It's not crooked. They're not crooked. I'm just using that as an example because I picked out that stone, and I picked out that stone with the intention of new beginnings in my relationship, and that this is a new chapter in my marriage, and that we're going to grow more and more together. And we survived the last year, which was really hard. Like, I love that ring. Or if what is the crayon sun catchers that we're making for my project for March for the craft event? You can't have that be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. And it's in the energy you're putting into the craft is helping heal your inner child, and it's bringing about positivity. And if we can just stop looking at stuff as it has to be perfect, and we can start looking at stuff as, oh, I put my energy and time into that, so that actually makes that amazing, regardless of if it looks a little wonky. Sarcasm and joking about serious issues. This is my husband. Let's see what this says. When discussing serious topics like mental health, relationships, and global issues, we might say things like, well, that's just how it is. Nothing ever going to change. Or guess we'll just wait for something to fall apart. Sarcasm and humor can make real pain and feelings of helplessness. But over time, this kind of joking becomes a shield against vulnerability and optimism. So I know that men tend to be the most sarcastic, especially, I don't know if your guys's are very sarcastic, but mine is, especially if like I'm having a serious conversation, he doesn't like the feeling of being vulnerable or communicating in vulnerability. So he'll throw something like completely offhanded and sarcastic that doesn't even go with what we're talking about, just so that he doesn't have to feel vulnerable. So that's a part of cynicism. So he has to work on himself. I'm not going to tell him that. Overgeneralizing negative experiences. I tried doing blank before and it was a disaster, so I'm not going to try it again. Very interesting. We like to tell people when they come to our sound baths, if we aren't your vibe and we don't click with you, that you should go try other people's experiences too, because I know Enchantments does them. There might be some people in Idaho Falls or whatnot. Then you might get energy healing sessions by other people that you might like well. But if you don't like an experience, you shouldn't discount it and never try it again. Maybe that during that time, maybe that wasn't something good for you. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Jen. Hey, girl. Hey. This mindset tends to generalize one or a few negative experiences and applies them broadly, shutting down future possibilities and growth. Assuming that everyone else is playing the game. For example, everyone's just pretending to care, or everyone's just in it for themselves, so why would I bother? This thought process leads to detachment and mistrust, making it difficult to form authentic connections or believe in the goodness of others. That's really hard. Hey, other Jen. Hey, chicken butt Jen. Hey, girl, hey. Assuming that everyone else is playing the game. How many of us have been hurt by somebody, and then now when we make new friendships or new romantic connections, we carry that baggage into the relationship and we're waiting for the shoe to drop for them to hurt us or traumatize us like old past relationships. I have a really, really, really hard time making girlfriends. And I always thought, well, I'm just meant to be around men because they say it how it is and I say it how it is, and it just works better that way, and I know where I'm always at with men. And then starting this crystal business, and over the last year, and I was even betrayed when I first started the crystal business. I had a lot of people, women, come against me in that scene. So, and then my mom's super toxic. I have not experienced women loving women all my life. And then in this last year, finding Crystal and Danielle and working with them, and then all the women, like look at Jen. I met her with nursing and she's amazing. Susan came from Crystal's friends. She's amazing. Jen from Maine, I've met her. She's amazing. So we've got to understand that there really are good people out there and good connections that we can make, and we can't discount new relationships and new opportunities to meet new people and to be vulnerable and open with them just because we've been hurt. I know it's really, really hard because I would rather shield and block everything off, but because I didn't, I now have this amazing tribe of women that are loving and supporting me, and it's healing all the parts of me that was hurt by all those people. So I love that. But I get why people have trust issues. Ignoring small acts of kindness. When someone holds the door for us, we don't even acknowledge it or say thank you because we're so focused on thinking. People only do nice things for their own gain. That's really mean. This behavior dismisses everyday kindness and undermines the importance of simple acts of generosity. I think that we don't see a lot of simple acts of generosity anymore, and we may complain about it, but we don't make the change to do the simple acts of generosity. So be the change and open the door for people. If you see a mom struggling in the store and she's having a hard time getting to her car because her kids are stomping on her food, come over and help her push her cart and help her with her kids. I think that we feel awkward and we don't want to go out of our way to really help people because we're scared that they'll judge us. But what is the worst that they'll say? They'll say no. Again, that was part of the cynicism, not accepting help from other people. That's just their unhealed part. But a lot of people would actually really love if you open the door, even if it's a man. Open the door for a man to walk in. Do you know what he would think all day? He would be like, I'm special. She opened the, but maybe then make sure you're wearing your ring, I guess. Because it could send the wrong, I don't know. I feel like that with us. Becky, sometimes I'm scared to lose any of you. Right. I do. And then I second guess. I'm like, are these women going to betray me? Because I've been betrayed so much. Please don't stab me in the back. I'll tell Crystal and Danielle all the time. I'll be like, is there something that I'm doing that's irritating you? Like, if I ever irritate you, will you please tell me? Can we communicate it? Is there anything you need to tell me? And they're like, nope. But I want I don't want us to hate each other. I really want to keep it going because it's such a sisterhood. Yeah, people are a lot more genuine than we think they are, but because we've been screwed by so many people, it's so easy to assume the worst. Neglecting personal growth or well-being. What's the point of working on myself? I've tried before and it didn't change anything. I'll just be stuck forever. Eek. Don't avoid self-care. Self-care is really important. I think that the problem with us avoiding self-care and thinking, well, it didn't work or help improve me, it's you need to change one thing at a time. You need to change one thing at a time. So if you want to be more healthy, switch from drinking diet soda to water and go about that for a month. If you want to have more opportunities for friendship, pick one event to go through that puts you out there with women or whoever you're wanting to gain, and do that a month. I think that when we do our spiritual growth, we overwhelm ourselves because we pick, like, we go and we make ourselves the lists of all the things we want to change, and we're going to change it all at once. And then we give up because what is the point? Because I'm never going to change and everything sucks, and we need to be better at just picking one thing, being calm, and loving to ourselves with that one part of self-care. Accepting help is so important, Susan. I talked about specifically when you're having surgery. I talked about that situation. You have to accept help. You're blocking Crystal's blessings if you don't let her come over and help do something. You're blocking her blessings. Maybe she needs that sister connection. Don't block her blessings. Healing takes every day for years. Exactly. And healing is like an onion. When you come to see me for an energy healing session, I talk about this all the time. Your onion is probably massive with past traumas, with physical ailments that you've had, with emotional relationship issues, emotional pain. If you've ever had a crisis of faith, if you've gotten angry at God or whoever it is, those are all build layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers on your onion. And so when you come to me, the energy healing session I do, I just work on whatever it is that Spirit tells me to work on for that time. And then you come see me the next time and we have peeled back a layer, and now we're working on something different. It's different every time because your spiritual growth is like an onion. We just peel back a little layer, a little layer, a little layer at a time. So you gotta be patient. Patience sucks, but you gotta be patient. When someone, this one's hard. When someone offers constructive criticism or feedback, we may think they're just trying to make me feel bad, or they don't know what they're talking about. So instantly being defensive. We dismiss constructive feedback as an attack, preventing ourselves from growing and learning from others. That's hard. That one's hard. I'm an emotional Cancer, and if you tell me I'm messing up, I'm gonna feel really bad. But I am more open to constructive criticism. I have asked a lot about, especially in business, like, is there things that we're doing that you want us to do better? Like, are you having, I think that somebody said when we were doing our meditations, they said that the floor was cold and it was hard for them to get into the sound bath meditation. do you know how long we've been doing meditations in the garage? Like, I have refinished and done amazing in the garage. It doesn't even look like a garage. It's like an event room, but you said that, and because you were open and said that, I ordered foam pads with like nice coziness, and then they've got little pillows for your head, and now everybody is falling asleep in the meditations and enjoying it. But if you all thought that and y'all didn't say it, you're stinker butts, because it didn't offend me at all. I want to know what I can do better, what you want more from our business, to help you heal and on your spiritual path. So don't not tell, especially your small business friends. If you think that they need to be doing something differently, let them know, because they actually do want to grow their business. That's the whole point of their business. Resisting change or innovation. When faced with new ideas or solutions, we think it's just another fad or it'll never work. People will just mess it up. This kind of mindset limits progress and change, fostering stagnation and refusing to consider new opportunities. Resistant to change. When faced with new ideas or solutions, we think it's just another fad or it'll never work. People will just mess it up. Refusal to consider new opportunities. I think that I can't even wrap my mind around that, because I've taken such a far step backwards in realizing that you cannot control your life. You cannot control the flow. You need to go with the changes. It's like you're going backwards. It's like you're kayaking and you're trying to go against the current and you're going backwards when you're fighting against that. If you just went with the flow and with change, you would receive all the blessings that the change is supposed to bring you. And I'm really jumping full force into new opportunities and change, and just knowing that I can't be as controlling as I was, because it makes everybody, including myself, very unhappy. So don't fight the flow. Making quick judgments. Judging a person or situation based on appearance or stereotypes without taking the time to understand the full context. Judging a person or situation based on the appearance or stereotypes without taking the time to understand the full context. This one is like a really hard wound for me, because like I posted in the Pocatello Moms group so that I could get more followers on my Instagram, and I kind of was nervous about doing that, and then I was like, maybe I should have put a disclaimer on what my business is about, but I shouldn't have to put a disclaimer. I'm worried about the quick judgment of other people, because we are in a very religious area. And some people think that rocks are worshiping the devil. And some people think that what I do is very wrong. And here I am. Like, I'm trying to get you guys to think about positivity every morning. We go live and we talk about positive thinking and our mental health and how we can help ourselves get throughout the week. And then I'm worried about the quick judgment of other people to just like, I don't want to support her, she's satanic. And then I'm like, but I'm really not. I spread love and joy, and we came up with crafting events so that people could come together once a month so that they could sit and enjoy the company of other women, regardless of like what beliefs they are. We just want everybody to come together and heal and spread love and joy. We're all struggling. We all are struggling. And we all need that connection. So, yeah, I have a hard time. A lot of people quickly judge what I do, and I guess those people aren't my people. But hopefully the world can try to be a little less judgy. People judge what they don't understand. It is true. I had somebody on my YouTube short put yesterday because I put all those zodiac spiritual messages for zodiac signs, and they were like, get out of the astrology and talk with Jesus. And then I just put back, the reason I give the spiritual messages is through Jesus. Like, you don't know what people believe in. I believe in God and Jesus. Like, I'm a little weird because I use cards and meditation and I open my mind spiritually, but I still believe in them, I still believe in those things. But just because you're a little weird, you're instantly thought that you're not, you don't have the higher stuff in mind. It's so funny. The last one says, constantly playing the devil's advocate. Well, sure, that sounds nice, but there's no way it will actually work out. Or I'm just saying it might not be as easy as everyone thinks. Playing devil's advocate all the time can be a way to shoot down new ideas, suggestions that everything will fail, and discouraging others from expressing optimism or hope. Nope, I don't do that. I am everybody's cheerleader. You tell me you think you want to do energy healing or sound bowls, or you want to learn Reiki, or you want to learn how to do pull cards, or you want to learn how to meditate with crystals, or you tell me anything, I'm instantly going to encourage you. I'm going to tell you tricks and tips that I used. What is the point in putting somebody else's ideas down? Even if you feel like, I don't know if that is the best path for you, if that's something you want to do, I will be your biggest cheerleader. I do not see that. I'd rather people love me for me over a filtered version. Exactly. That's why I didn't put a disclaimer, because maybe they'll follow me and then maybe they'll unfollow me, but maybe I'll get some new people. The last part says, cynicism often stems from past hurt, fear of disappointment, or burnout, but if left unchecked, it can become a habitual lens through which we see the world. While a little skepticism can be healthy, when cynicism becomes our default way of thinking, it not only blocks hope, but also limits the potential for growth, joy, and deeper connection. Cultivating hope involves choosing to see the possibilities, questioning our assumptions, and allowing ourselves to believe in positive outcomes. It's about seeing the light through the cracks and giving ourselves and others the grace to grow and change. By becoming aware of small, cynical habits we engage in daily, we can begin to shift our perspective towards openness and optimism, choosing to cultivate hope instead. So I think the biggest thing, a lot of us are really good people that are watching this. So the biggest thing that we probably all have a hard time with is, where did the other page go? Accepting help. I think that we need to accept help more, and that we need to also lend help more when we're out and about and we see a need for somebody needing help. We need to lend a hand, lead with positivity, allow people to help us. Try not to avoid new opportunities or change, go more with the flow. Know that we need to embrace vulnerability, and instead of using our sarcasm to change the subject, we need to openly listen and communicate well with others and allow the time to be vulnerable, allow the conversation to be vulnerable. Don't always assume the most negative things of people just because you've had past traumas and past hurts. And just lead with positivity. So that is our spiritual message for today. I will pull us out a couple cards just for a hint at what we can expect for this week. What do we need to know emotionally for our highest good this week? What can we do to prepare ourselves to get through this week? Today is early day. Last week I forgot Cutler early day. So I need to not do that. I have set an alarm for early day so that I will be not silly and forget him. Oh, man. Okay. So we need to cleanse our houses, which I've already said that we need to do that because we need to get rid of all of February's garbage. So however you cleanse your house, you can use sage, Palo Santo, you can go into each room and set an intention or a prayer. But we need to cleanse, open up your windows, get rid of some of that stagnant energy. It also shows that we need to make sure that we're maintaining our boundaries this week. A lot of people could try to trauma dump on you. And when you allow people to constantly dump and dump and dump on you, now you're carrying their energy. So remember to cut cords and set intentions at night. I call back all my energy, all my power, and I cut all ties to anything negative so that you're not carrying their negativity with you through this week. It's okay to manifest this week. So think about the things that you want and the goals and intentions you want for your future. And then it's saying go on a walk and be more committed to the things you want to happen. So if you're wanting to be more healthy this week, put goals and set intentions of what you can do to be more healthy. If you're wanting to grow your business, set goals and intentions for what you can do to make that happen. So it seems like we need to take action and we need to make sure that we're maintaining our boundaries this week and following our intuition. We do have a sound bath this Thursday at 7 p.m. And I am going to be working on your throat chakras and opening up your throat chakra for being able to communicate more effectively. Opening up your windows. It's negative degrees here. It's kind of cold today, but even if you opened your door for 5 minutes, I understand that that's cold. Even if you opened your door for 5 minutes and just set the intention that any stagnant energy left, then you could shut your door. You would be fine. It's all about intention. You know this, Jen. You know this. Yeah. I think that is it. I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow for our next spiritual message. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Bye.